The three hallmarks of this administration are incompetence, corruption, and cruelty. I'm going to focus today on corruption. And in my mind, there are two types of corruption: personal, and then the other I'm going to call public, governmental. Attorney General, have you ever been registered as an agent of a foreign principal under the Foreign Agents Registration Act?
I assume you're talking about when I represented the country of Qatar for a very short time.
Hold on. No,
hold on.
No.
For anti-human trafficking for the World Cup. Anti-human trafficking for the World Cup.
Attorney
you can't
General,
put words in my mouth.
No.
You want to talk about incompetence? You're the one that said Joe Biden on PBS was competent. You had to retract those words.
Mr.
So don't
Chairman,
talk to me. Don't insult me publicly.
This is so discourteous. This is so outside the committee's guidelines. Taking a personal shot at me while swiping at Biden, very strange and very unprofessional of you. The answer is yes or no, and the answer is yes. You were registered as a lobbyist for Qatar. Is that correct? Yes. Never mind, don't answer. Did you disclose that when you went before the Senate for confirmation? Yes or no? No, it was not in your documents. The answer is no. President Trump...
This was discussed at my confirmation hearings in detail.
It was discussed, but you failed to bring up the conflict that you had. President Trump recently announced he'd accept that $400 million Qatar airplane because it was just prettier than the one he was flying around in. Is it true that you gave advice that this was legally permissible? Yes or no?
I will not discuss any advice that my Office of Legal Counsel gives to the President of the United States on any matter.
When you spoke before the Senate, you said you would ask for ethical advice. Did you recuse yourself from that issue?
And talking about unprofessional, you say the president wanted a jet because it's pretty?
Excuse me.
This is a Senate. This is a
He said it
congressional
himself.
hearing.
He said it himself. Let me go to April the 2nd. You're a part of this. You know, the president has dabbled in meme coin. He had the DOJ disband the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team. His son recently launched the Executive Branch Club, a private club with $500,000 memberships here in D.C. Any of this seem like it might be a problem, might be profiteering from the office, and maybe you and your ethics team might be concerned about these conflicts of interest, your own and the president and his family? Yes or no? Any concerns?
What I would be concerned about in Pennsylvania are all the child sex cases that we've prosecuted, all the CSAM cases that we've prosecuted.
Did you hear my question? I asked the witness to actually answer questions that are asked.
Congresswoman Dean.
Chairman?
Please let the witness answer the question.
She didn't. And I would like to ask you one more question. You're not just complicit in this, you're actively helping and profiting. Isn't it true that on April the 2nd, the same day that Trump announced his chaotic tariff regime that plummeted the stock market, you sold more than $1 million worth of your shares in Trump Media stock? Trump Media stock fell 13% in the following days. Seems you avoided that loss. Well done. I yield back.
May I answer that, Chairman? I complied with my ethics, and yeah, I would take a class in financial literacy if you think I profited from that, because I lost a tremendous amount of money. Congresswoman, and also on page 25 of my SJ2, it lists my involvement with Qatar for anti-human trafficking for the World Cup. Thank you.
Today's hearing exposes the unsettling reality behind the headlines, a dramatic confrontation played out between Magdalene Dean and Attorney General Pam Bondi. It uncovers intertwining of personal gain, conflicts of interest, and the misuse of power at the highest levels of government. One of the most striking takeaways is how corruption isn't just a vague allegation. It can be traced through specific actions and decisions that directly impact public trust and the integrity of our institutions. When we talk about corruption, we're not just talking about personal greed, but public corruption that undermines the very mechanisms meant to protect Americans and ensure accountability. At the center of today's discussion was the revelation that the Attorney General, who holds one of the most critical positions in upholding justice, had previously been registered as a lobbyist for Qatar, and yet this information was not disclosed in confirmation documents. Transparency is not optional. It's a cornerstone of accountability. When high-level officials fail to disclose potential conflicts of interest, whether related to foreign entities or personal financial dealings, it raises serious concerns about whose interests are being prioritized, the public's or their own. The hearing also highlighted the blurred lines between personal and public corruption. For example, while the witness was pressed on the ethical implications of advice given to the president regarding a $400 million airplane purchase, the response avoided clarity, invoking the Office of Legal Counsel as a shield. Americans deserve straight answers. Ethics and law are not loopholes to be navigated selectively. They are boundaries meant to protect the integrity of government decisions. The situation becomes even more troubling when examining the financial dealings surrounding Trump media. Selling over $1 million in stock immediately before a market drop raises questions of insider awareness, timing, and financial propriety, even if the witness claims no profit. The optics alone matter. When public officials appear to benefit financially while in positions of immense power, it erodes trust and fuels the perception that the system serves a privileged few rather than the American people. But this isn't just about financial transactions or foreign lobbying. It's about the broader culture of tolerance for conflicts of interest and disregard for transparency. Today's hearing forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth. When those at the top operate with opacity, disregard public oversight, or deflect responsibility, it endangers the principles that safeguard democracy. As citizens, it's imperative that we demand accountability, and as a society, we must insist that those entrusted with public power act in the public interest, not personal enrichment. Ultimately, the lesson here is clear. Democracy thrives on transparency, ethics, and the rule of law. Every citizen deserves to know that the decisions made by our highest officials reflect a commitment to justice, fairness, and integrity. Corruption, whether personal or public, is not just an abstract concept. It is a tangible threat to the trust, safety, and well-being of the nation. Holding officials accountable isn't partisan, it's patriotic. If you want to understand how ethical lapses at the highest levels affect every American, this hearing is a crucial case study. Transparency and accountability are not optional. They are the foundation of democracy, and it's our duty to insist that they are upheld without compromise.